Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. And let's see on the 2 hours chart here, what do we have for Bitcoin, what it might happen. So basically what we are looking at yesterday was of course a potential triangle here formation for wave 4 and then wave 5 toward the upside, or a potential ending diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And we said if we break both case scenarios here, will be invalidated. And then the wave 4 went so deeper right now, and we have like kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Now, in this case scenario, if we have, of course, an A, a B, and a C here, it can be done. The wave 4 did not reach yet the invalidation, the total invalidation of a wave 4. So at 106K 400 is exactly the invalidation of this impulse, meaning if the price dive deeper and take this price, therefore you cannot expect to take the high anymore. In this case scenario, right now we are still holding above this invalidation, and it's still very possible, of course, to get one more impulse toward the upside for wave 5. In this case, we can even call that this can be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Can the wave 5 as another possibility here, that it is finished as a wave 1, wave 2, and you have a wave 3, 4, and a 5 to finish an impulse. But you would like to take, of course, the all-time high in this case scenario. If not, therefore this will transform, of course, to a wave 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5 toward the upside as well. So basically, we cannot call yet, of course, a bearish scenario yet before taking the 106K 400. Once you take this one, you invalidate this impulse. Therefore, of course, this has transformed to 100% 3 waves toward the upside. And therefore, we're looking for a lower to take this low definitely. And in this case, of course, I would say once you take this low, you are looking therefore to something else, which is the following scenario. Let's see it on the 4 hours chart here. So we are looking at potentially this one as an A, B, and a C here. As I mentioned, you might take the low, so it might transform to a flat A, B, and a C, so to be estimated first before calling a bearish scenario. Of course, a total bearish scenario, we still have a lot of scenarios that it might unfold here in this area. So basically, you can have, of course, a flat wave B after having a wave A, complex structure, or I would say it can be impulsive, and then of course having a wave C towards the upside to hit, of course, the perfect fib level for an expanding flat wave B in the yellow here. And those are, of course, a new all-time high. We are talking here on the daily that you might be, of course, in a big ABC, right? So this is the top of the bull run here, and you have, of course, a complex structure wave A, and then 3 waves toward the upside as a big zigzag hitting the perfect fib levels for a wave B and an expanding flat, and therefore, of course, diving deeper for a wave C in a big wave 2, of course, as a 1, and then wave 2, and then, of course, starting a new bull run toward the upside. And those scenarios can, of course, this scenario can unfold only, of course, if we continue and we take the wave B in the top here. So step by step, first we need, of course, to invalidate this impulse. In case it is an impulse, you can still have one more leg toward the upside, unless, of course, we dive for a wave C, and then, of course, we move on for a wave B in an expanding flat. So basically, this is the highest scenario that it might happen right now or next, and to be watched, of course. Of course, there are many scenarios which are bearish, but I think right now it is a little bit too early to talk about it before we invalidate this scenario, because it is the next scenario that we might face, of course, in case we are bullish. In case we break this, and of course, I mean, if we dive deeper and we take the 1-to-1 fib level here, which is, of course, the target for this wave C, exactly at 99K again. So we're back to potentially 100K, yeah, and around it, which it can be, of course, very psychological number, and then moving towards the upside again, which is very nice number, right? It can be very convincing that if we come back to the 100K, we move, of course, for higher one more time. And this might unfold the wave B, of course, as an A, B, and a C. Yeah, so if we break this one toward the downside and we overshoot it, meaning 1.618, you have to start, or even in between, yeah, so 1.27, don't forget, it is an uncommon target for a wave 3. So if we overshoot this 100K, the 1.27 is given, even 1.618 is much more convincing as a wave 3. Therefore, you have to start to expect, of course, a 4 and a 5. And if this happens, of course, therefore, we got an impulse, we got a direction for the market, and we might, of course, unfold here an A, B, and a C. This is only your wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 toward the downside again. The bear market is unfolding. Don't forget that this wave can be a wave B even in the yellow. Rather than having an extended one, it can be finished here, taking already the 1.05, which is already an uncommon target for an expanding flat wave B, which is very possible. And of course, moving toward the downside for a wave C and an expanding flat. Yeah, and that means, of course, it is a bear market for a while, but don't forget that this will unfold a very huge bullish scenario toward the upside after having a big wave 1, and then wave 2, and then 3, 4, 5 toward the upside. Yep, so these are the updates for Bitcoin for the daily analysis. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.